title, When Pleasing People Becomes a Prison, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, citizens of the kingdom, there comes a time in every person's life when you must ask a critical question, not of others, but of yourself. Am I truly living out the will of God, or am I simply living to please man? You see, one of the most subtle yet dangerous enemies of purpose is the spirit of people-pleasing. It doesn't wear a mask, but it does wear a smile. It doesn't shout, but it constantly whispers, "What will they think of me?" Let me tell you something today. You cannot fulfill divine purpose if you're addicted to human approval. So what are the signs? How do you know if you've become a people-pleaser? Let me share with you a few symptoms, not from a medical book, but from the manual of life, and from years of observation in the school of purpose. 1. You say yes when your spirit says no. You agree to things that drain you. You volunteer for things that violate your peace, not because you want to, but because you're afraid to disappoint. Hear me, when your yes to man is louder than your yes to God, you are no longer being led by conviction. You're being led by fear. Obedience to purpose sometimes requires a holy no. 2. You are afraid of being misunderstood. People-pleasers often fear being misunderstood more than they fear being disobedient to their own calling. Let me tell you, every great leader in history was misunderstood. Jesus was misunderstood. Joseph was misunderstood. Even Moses was misunderstood. But purpose is not for the easily offended. Stop defending yourself. Start delivering what God gave you. 3. You avoid conflict at the cost of truth. If keeping the peace always costs you your integrity, then what you have is not peace. It is bondage. Peace is not the absence of conflict. Peace is the presence of truth in the middle of conflict. People-pleasers would rather be liked than be right, but I came to tell you today, truth is not always comfortable, but it is always necessary. 4. You constantly need validation to feel valuable. Let me set you free. Your value was established before you were applauded. You were already approved before anyone ever acknowledged you. People-pleasers seek validation externally because they have not discovered their worth internally. Until you know who you are, you will always be a slave to what others say. 5. You compromise your convictions for the crowd. The crowd is loud, but it is not always right. People-pleasers adjust their morals, shift their language, and soften their stance, all to keep the crowd comfortable. But the crowd did not call you. The crowd did not anoint you. The crowd will not stand with you when you face your assignment. Let me leave you with this. You were not born to fit in. You were born to stand out. You were not created to be liked. You were created to be light. You are not on earth to win the applause of men. You are here to fulfill the purpose of the King. So stop hiding your truth behind a smile. Stop shrinking your power to protect people's comfort. And stop saying yes to everything when God is calling you to say yes to Him. Because the moment you stop pleasing people is the moment you start pleasing the one who sent you.